I hate gear videos. Let me clarify. I dislike pre-trip videos, gear videos. I'm more interested in what you finish the trail with than what you start the trail with. Most people that do a through hike hardly ever finish up with the same gear that they started with. I was watching someone do a gear video one day, and they unboxed the particular gear there on the video, and they didn't even know how to operate it. And then they proceeded to tell me what they were going to do when they got on trail. Many times it's more important what you don't bring on the trail than what you do bring. I think it makes a difference between a successful through hike and a failure. But in this video, I want to talk about the things that I did not bring with me on my Ireland Way through hike, or basically any of my through hikes. You could entitle this video Unnecessary Gear That You Don't Need to Complete a Through Hike. Let me say this at the very first: all gear is personal, and what works for you might not work for me, as I've said before. And some things that you think are necessary may not be necessary for me, and vice versa. And so please take this video as help to lighten your pack and not bring unnecessary items with you. I didn't bring sleeping clothes with me. I think, quote, sleeping clothes are unnecessary. Just the idea of taking your sleeping clothes off in the morning when it's cold and getting out of your sleeping quilt or sleeping bag to put your hiking clothes back on is not very appealing to me. Well, I don't want to get in my sleeping bag with my sweaty clothes. Your clothes are going to dry before the time you get to bed, so don't worry about it. Another thing I didn't bring, I think is unnecessary, is a change of clothes. You can wash your hiking clothes. In fact, you can wash everything and dry it when you get into a trail town. You don't have to have a fresh set of clothes for every day that you're out. When I did the PCT, I was out no longer than 5 days on trail. And so about every 5 days, I was able to wash and dry my clothes. I didn't bring underwear with me on my through hike. The reason why is because my hiking shorts have a built-in liner in them, and so I didn't need underwear. I didn't bring wind pants or wind suit as such with me. I think it's unnecessary. You can always put your rain jacket and your rain pants on if you need to stay out of the wind or inclement weather, whatever. Plus, you can use your rain jacket and your rain pants as extra layer when you're sleeping at night to keep you a little bit warmer. I didn't bring long hiking pants with me. Again, I think it's unnecessary. I just wore these Dick's Sporting Goods 9-inch run shorts. When it got cold in the morning, I would wear my rain pants. When I laundried my my hiking clothes, my shirt and my shorts, of course it would leave me without any clothes, and so I wore my rain jacket and my rain pants. You could probably say that my rain pants, my rain jacket was the most versatile and multi-use gear that I brought with me. I didn't bring a fanny pack with me because I just took my things that I wanted to keep close to me, my toiletries and things like that, snacks or whatever, and I just put it in my hip belt pockets, and that served the purpose of a fanny pack. I didn't bring a stove or a gas canister or a cook pot with me. Again, I think it was unnecessary. I used the no-cook system, just things that don't require cooking or preparing. You say, well, what'd you do about coffee, hot coffee in the morning? Well, I would just take a packet of instant coffee, put it in my water bottle at night, and then shake it up real good and put it outside of my tent and let it, what I call, ferment. And then in the morning, I would wake up and start drinking coffee. Most of the time when I would get to camp with somebody else that was cooking, I would be finished eating and getting ready for bed while they were still boiling water. With the no-cook system of eating, there's no cleaning up of the pot or running out of gas with the gas canister. All you have to do is eat, put the garbage away, and that's it. Another thing I didn't bring on my through hike was a dedicated camera. I just used my phone and the camera on my phone for all the things that I needed for my navigational maps, my camera, photographs, things like that. I didn't bring a pack cover to go over my pack with me, even though Ireland was very, very rainy. I had an airplane carry bag that I put my backpack in, and I checked it in when I flew over to Ireland. Then when I got there, I took the bag and put it inside of my backpack and used it to put all of the stuff that I didn't want to get wet. I didn't have a bear canister or a bear bag with me on my through hike of the Ireland Way. Of course, there's no bears over there, or snakes as well, because St. Patrick drove them all out to England. But I just brought it. It's called a lock sack op sack. It's an odor-proof bag that I put all of my food in and just kept it in my tent. It's odor-proof, and so none of the critters could get a smell out of my food. One thing that is definitely unnecessary, in my humble opinion, for a through hike is a camp chair. Now, I did get a 1/8 inch Gossamer Gear folded pad, and I used it to put under my sleeping pad, but also used it as a sit pad. It worked out fantastic. Now, save your comments and dirty words to me about a camp chair. If you just got to have one on your through hike and you can't go over 2,000 miles without a camp chair, then go ahead and take one. Now, the reason why God made the ground is for us mere mortals to sit on. Another thing I didn't bring with me, and I don't bring with me, is a big axe or a hatchet or a saw. People are always asking me, Rev, do you bring a firearm with you? You bring a big Bowie knife with you to fight off the bears and the elephants and the giraffes and the rhinos? I've done 3 long distance through hikes, and the only knife that I brought with me on all 3 of those hikes was a little Swiss Army knife about this big. It's got scissors, tweezers, toothpick, a blade, and I think a little tiny screwdriver and a file. And that's all I need. It's not a bear that scares me. It's another hiker with a firearm that doesn't know how to use it. Now, as far as carrying protection against wild animals is concerned, animals are more afraid of you than you are of them. Now, I'm not saying that animal attacks don't happen. They do. But if you're not stupid and do things that are stupid, they're not going to bother you. I don't carry gloves with me. I think that's why they make pockets. And then if it gets really cold, you can always put your hands in socks and use those as gloves. Now, I know this one's really going to stir up a hornet's nest, but I have never carried camp shoes with me on a through hike. Now, I take that back. I did wear some camp shoes, I think the first hike that I went on, but I have evolved since then. Camp shoes were used when people would wear those big clunky leather boots, and when they got to camp, their feet were just, barking, and so they would take the shoes off, their boots off, and put their feet in these Crocs or whatever to be more comfortable. Now, when I get to camp, what I do is I'll take my shoes and socks off, and I will undo my laces on my shoes and just wear them very loosely if I have to go around camp. Now, between the camp chair and the camp shoes comment, I probably lost maybe 5 or 6 subscribers. I don't know if this is a piece of gear or not, but I know it's very controversial. But one thing that I did not bring and haven't brought in a long time on my hikes, toilet paper. Again, I think that's why God created sticks, rocks, leaves. Another thing that I didn't bring with me on my hike was a ground sheet for my tent. I think it's unnecessary. I just didn't need it. I think if you're careful about where you pitch your tent and clear out all the rocks and the sticks and anything sharp, if you get that out of the way before you pitch your tent, I believe you won't have any problems. If you carry a ground sheet to keep the bottom of your tent from getting dirty, your ground sheet's going to get dirty. And so it's either your ground sheet or your tent bottom is going to get dirty. And so either one of them is going to get dirty. Another thing that I didn't bring was deodorant. And just take a shower. Every time you go into a trail town, you're going to stink no matter what. When you go to a trail town, go to a restaurant first, and then when they get a good whiff of you, you'll have the whole restaurant to yourself. I didn't bring a razor with me or shaving cream. I just didn't think it was necessary to shave while I was on trail. It's just another thing that is unnecessary and another thing you don't have to think of. Now, the things in this video pertain to 3-season hiking. I'm not talking about the winter time and snow and sub-freezing, sub-zero weather. I'm not talking about that. When I was hiking the PCT and was in the Northern Cascades up in Washington, it was regularly getting below freezing, rain, snow, and so I added some long johns, shirt and pants to help me keep warm during that section of the trail during that time of the year. Now, I hope this video has been a help to you next time you go on a through hike or section hike or just an overnight hike, that you won't take any unnecessary stuff. And whatever you do, don't let some green jacket talk you into buying stuff that you don't need. If you know, you know. If you have some things that you think are unnecessary that I didn't mention, be sure and leave that in the comments section below. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And be sure and check out the videos that are on the screen if you want to learn a little bit more about hiking and backpacking and through hiking and anything outdoors. And until then, I will see you down the trail.